Okay, fans, SFAVolleyBlog.net. Greg Miller, Demons in town, big match tonight. We're outside. We're actually at Starbucks. We're on the road here, and the Demons are just in for the day. So rather than take a hotel stop, they had us come to Starbucks. So right here on North Street, I'm with Mackenzie Neely. Mackenzie, thanks for being able to chat with us for a second.
You're welcome.
All right, first thing I want to ask you is this. What sticks out in your mind during the 4 years that you've been a Demon for Northwestern State's turnaround? In 2009, this team only won 3 games.
Right.
And then the last 2 years, you've been 20-game winners, and, of course, in the Southland Conference Championship. What, in your mind, is the biggest factor for the turnaround in the Demon program?
I think all the credit really goes to our coaches. I mean, the way that they prepare us for games, the way we train and practice, it's so unique. Everything we do is really unique, and I think, it all has to do with them.
We've talked a lot around here about this being sort of the swan song for Jill Ivey, who's a senior, Paige Holland, who's a senior, Janet Hill. I know that you came in with Stacy and EJ and Vanessa, who are all here around us, and, of course, Keeley, too. What's it been like to be in the program with those 3-4 girls? What have you guys gotten together and talked about? This is the last time through. Have you done any sort of senior reminiscing so far?
Yeah, we have. We definitely have. And, especially for us, we all, besides Vanessa, grew up, playing against each other in clubs since we were 12. So it's really been a long process for us. And, it is sad that it's all coming to a close. We're never going to play again together, and that's something that's definitely motivating us, this last half of the season.
It seems like when I've seen you guys both at your place and here that y'all are a pretty tight-knit group. Do y'all hang out together and associate with each other all the time?
Yeah, definitely. We're very close. Our whole team is really close, but, yeah, especially our senior class.
I think everybody in the conference knows what a downer it was when Keeley Arneson went out. It was unique in that you guys actually put that up on your website. There was actually an article on the Demon Volleyball website about that Arneson suffered a season-ending injury. What's been the team's resolve since that time? Did the coaches get you guys together? Did you get yourself together and talk about, hey, she's the best libero in the conference, but we've got to move on without her? What's been sort of the team's concentration since you knew she was out?
Yeah, when we first found out she was out, it was shock, and I think that showed it at our Nichols game. We weren't really ready to respond to that yet, but since then we've really gotten all together as a team, the coaching staff, with Keeley too, and Bailey, we're confident in Bailey. Keeley's confident in Bailey. Everybody's really talked to Bailey. She's doing great for us, and so we just have to keep going. It's our only choice.
One of the things I wanted to make sure and ask you about was, and this was a feature that made it all the way to the Southland Conference website. Some people have probably seen this. You made a couple of trips to Haiti, and I wanted to ask you about that. I wanted to ask you about what you did there when you were in Haiti and kind of what personally you took away from those visits.
Yeah, I've been to Haiti twice now, and then I've also been to Africa as well. I spent 3 weeks in Africa this summer and then 3 weeks in Haiti. It's such a unique experience. Both places I was working in either a hospital or a medical clinic, either doing injections, helping with deliveries and C-sections. It really is, it's unique because you don't get those experiences here in the U.S. But it just, you see everything in a different perspective when you come back, and it's, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I thought about it. Those of you that haven't seen this, there's actually still a photo gallery out on the NSU website from when you went that has a bunch of photos that I guess you took, right? I mean, there's some photos of you with some small children. I think some of those you've had on your Facebook page and things. And, one of the things I noticed there was living conditions. And, I had a busted water pipe at my house yesterday, and I thought about this question, and I thought about those living conditions. Did that really hit home for you, just the poverty level and the difference in how everybody every day lives there compared to here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Haiti especially. Since the earthquake, it is unbelievable, the living conditions. Families, 8 or 9 people living in a 1-bedroom tent. It's just no running water, no electricity. It's really, it just really puts everything into perspective.
If any of the folks from Central Arkansas see this on YouTube, I'm going to have to apologize. I was sitting courtside last year at the championship match there in Corpus Christi with you guys, And I'll admit, I was secretly rooting for Northwestern State after SFA had been knocked out because it was just such an exciting final. But of course, what does a team take from that? I know at the moment that you lose, that's the concentration. But after the off-season hits, when you came back, what do you think the team has learned most from going that far at Corpus?
I think we learned how to play in difficult games and difficult situations. There would be, games last year early in the season where if we would get pushed, I think we would kind of start to fold and doubt ourselves. And towards the end of the season last year and even this year, I think, when we got pushed, we're able to push back. We're able to get through those tough situations. In 5-game sets, we're confident. So, it's given us a good level of confidence that we know what we're doing. We're confident on the floor in hard situations.
We talked about your senior class a minute ago. I want to go back to some of those girls. What's unique about y'all's senior class is they've all been integrated and been on the court virtually the whole time. I mean, Stacy, Keeley, EJ, Vanessa, they've all played a large part in the teams ever since they were freshmen. Break down each of those girls to me in terms of their leadership style. How are they different? Say, for instance, how does Vanessa lead on the court versus how as a setter? How does EJ lead? What are the differences in the leadership styles you see between them?
Well, Vanessa definitely brings our eye sequencing. It's something that's really significant to what we do. It's really unique. But I think she just kind of brings a calm to the court. Everybody knows, she knows what she's doing. She lets everybody else know what they need to be doing. And so that's kind of her role. Stacy, she's just always been kind of one of those glue players for us as well. She's always been on the court with us. And so, when she's out on the court, I think it makes everybody just, calm and confident. EJ, she's aggressive, and I think it brings out a lot of that in all of us. And then Keeley, she goes after every ball, and so when she was on the court, I think it drove everybody to play for every point, and it still does.
So where do you think you fit in terms of leadership style? Who are you most like, or how do you see yourself as a leader?
I don't know. I think I'm probably a little bit sassy, maybe bring out a little bit of the aggression like EJ does, and I'm comfortable in tight situations, so I think maybe that's somewhere that people turn to me for.
In past years when either Northwestern State's come here or I've gone here, I've had a chance to interview Stacy once when she was here. I talked to Katie, who will be a senior next year when we came to your place. And you leave behind a junior crop in Amanda and Katie, but one player on your team that I think gets completely overlooked is Glenna Johnson. And I think that people that are paying attention now know the name Glenna Johnson around the conference more than before. Every year she's upped her game. I looked at this. She already has 108 blocks, and I looked at that and I went, "Is that really right?" And it's really right. She's on pace for 150 blocks. There are only 2 players in the last 8 years in the conference that have had 150 blocks, and that's Ashley Bailey, who played here, and Jessica Pankratz, who I've said enough about Jessica Pankratz through the years at Oral Roberts, but they're gone. Does Glenna know how good she is?
I don't know. I think she's starting to maybe know. I think we all know we're really confident with her when she's in the front row, but I think she's starting to catch on.
Talk about her growth and how much more. I see her as much more central to your team now than what she was even last year or the year before. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, definitely. I think our middles are starting to become more and more involved in our team. Freshman year especially, she wasn't here, but our middles, weren't involved. And sophomore year too. And so, her getting involved really helps our offense, and her blocks are great as well.
You guys did something that some other teams in the Southland have done, and that is you scheduled really hard. I mean, you knocked off Missouri at the beginning of the year. You've also played Memphis, you've played Mississippi State, you've played Auburn, you've played Baylor, and at the time you played Louisiana Lafayette. Louisiana Lafayette was undefeated and really hot. So do you feel like that all of that preseason tournament schedule really has prepared you for the grind? Because now's the grind where you've got 3 matches this week like us. Do you feel like playing tough teams like that has kind of prepped you for Southland play?
Absolutely. That's something that we try to do every season is really schedule hard games. And I think it helps us when we get into the second half of conference and when we're playing big teams. We're comfortable in big situations. We're comfortable going against big blockers, and it really helps.
And last question, Mackenzie. I know just from being in the gym at your place and elsewhere that your parents play a big role in your life and are a big supportive to you. One of the things I always do with players like this is I give them a chance to kind of give a shout out to somebody who's meaningful to them. Talk a little bit about the influence of your folks and what that means, because I know that they're in the gym a lot and that they mean a lot to you. So tell me a little bit about your parents and the support they've given you during the time you've been a Demon.
Yeah, my parents have always been very supportive of everything I do, and it was kind of always a dream of my mom's, I guess, to watch me play college volleyball, and my grandparents as well. So my family is really, really important to me. My family is very supportive, and they're always at the games cheering on. So it's really nice.
All right, fans, Demons in town, Northwestern State tonight, 6:30. Big week for both the Demons and Northwestern and SFA, as they'll each have 3 matches. Sam Houston and Lamar will come our way. The Jacks will get rival Sam Houston here on Thursday, while Northwestern plays the Cardinals, and then we'll flip-flop on Saturday. Also, the conference tournament is at Northwestern State this year, so we'll all round up over there in Nacogdoches. Mackenzie, thanks for being with me this afternoon.
Thank you.